Good day, folks, and welcome to our YouTube channel. Today is April the 24th, and we are hooking up an artesian well to the Ole Church 5-acre homestead. Betty and I are so very glad that you decided to come along with us on our latest project. There's lots happening in this video, folks, so please stay to the very end. You will not be sorry you did. Now, to say that Betty and I have long wanted running water at the Ole Church is an understatement. That is something that we have been wanting for a long time. And today, we are almost there. And now, just before we get started with this latest video, we ask that you hit the like button. And of course, Betty and I would like for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And that's Gary Betty Leet, the Ole Church 5-acre homestead. So let's get started, folks. And allow me to begin by saying that it was late last fall when Betty and I decided to hire a drilling company to drill an artesian well for us here at the Ole Church 5-acre homestead. However, folks, there is a backstory here first. We did some research into the art of dowsing. And I am sure many of you are asking the question, what is dowsing? And simply put, it is the art of finding water. And it is a practice of finding water that has been around for many years, brought here to Newfoundland and Labrador, folks, from the old country, England. The dowsinger uses a divining rod to find water veins. The divining rods are often made from alderwood, dogwood, or peachwood, or some other type of wood that can be made into the shape of a fork. And not just anyone can be a dowsinger. They are very special and unique individuals, often very spiritual and devout Christians or people of some other religious faith. And this is the perfect segue to introduce you to a very special man that Betty and I met very recently. With his permission, folks, you are looking at Mr. Ryburn Nippard, a modern-day dowsinger, or more commonly known today as a water wizard or a water doctor. Mr. Nippard graciously accepted my invitation to come to the Ole Church to locate water veins and the location for our artesian well. And I think it is important for me to point out that Mr. Nippard knew my grandparents who are buried in the cemetery next to the Ole Church. With his divining rod in his hands, Mr. Nippard is walking around the front of the Ole Church, ladies and gentlemen, trying to locate the water veins buried deep underground. At first, and as you can see here in this clip, the divining rod is straight out, parallel with the ground. When a water vein is located, the divining rod tilts toward the ground. If the water vein is a good one, if there is lots of water in the water vein, the divining rod will tilt almost perpendicular to the ground. And that is exactly what is happening to the divining rod in Mr. Nippard's hands. When Mr. Nippard found the strongest water vein, the vein with the most water, we placed a large rock next to it. And then we made sure that the drilling rig backed up and drilled directly above the location where Mr. Nippard said to drill. And I would like to say here, folks, that Betty and I would not settle for any location an inch off from Mr. Nippard's suggestions. The drill rig had to back up and go back out and back up again several times in order to be directly above where Mr. Nippard said to drill the well. Ladies and gentlemen, folks, Betty and I want to thank Mr. Ryburn Nippard very, very much for giving up his time to come by the Old Church and to help us find the location for our artesian well. And now, with the drill rig in its place, drilling our well, there begs several questions, folks. Did we strike water at this location? How much water did we strike? How many gallons per minute of water did we get? And how many feet of drilling did it take in order to reach the water veins buried deep underground? You will have to stay tuned, folks, in order to find the answers to these questions. You will need to return to part 2, folks. And in part 2, we will answer these very questions for you. And this is a great location in the video, folks, to ask you to like our video. And folks, please subscribe to our YouTube channel by hitting that subscribe button, which is located in the bottom right-hand corner of this video and all our videos. We thank you so very, very much for that. In the next short clip, folks, we talk about installing the deep well pump and the various other components and parts necessary so we can have running water inside the old church. Ladies and gentlemen, folks, we are going to be installing an artesian well. Last fall, Betty and I had an artesian well drilled in front of the old church. It was a 100-foot deep well that we had drilled, and it was late in the fall when we had that done, so we waited until the spring. Right now, it is April the 24th, Saturday, and it's around 6 o'clock in the morning. I've been up since 5, gearing up and getting all this stuff ready to put in my pickup to make the trip to Davidsville to get this stuff all installed. And that's what we are going to be doing today. That's our project, and you are going to be coming along with us and following us step by step in this process this weekend. What you are looking at are the various components and parts that we are going to be using. Up on the top of this tall rectangular box is the deep well pump. So one of the most important components, I would guess, for the deep well. It has to go right down into the bottom of the well. The long hose also goes down into the well, as does this long electrical cable wiring right here. And there's also some other components in this box as well, some tech cable there. All of this, the pressure tank is there as well. All of this we are going to be using this weekend so that we can have running water inside the old church. Very excited about that. Betty and I have been hoping for water for quite some time now at our homestead, and today, please God, we will have running water today at the old church. However, like I said a little while ago, you will have to tune in to part 2. And in part 2, we will have much more on our artesian well story. And we will ask again for you to like our video, and of course, if you would like to leave us a comment, and to please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Gary Betty Leet, the Old Church, 5 Acre Homestead.